Today we are looking at MLB The Show 16. I have Ramone Russell from SCE San Diego to show us some of the new stuff that's coming with this year's game. Ramone, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
I'm Brian Shea. I didn't introduce myself. We're going to look at the new stuff that is coming in this year's game. Right now we are on the captain screen, which is an all-new feature.
Right. So, MLB The Show 16 is all about more diversity, more gameplay modes, new modes, more animations, new animations, more ways to play, more fun ways to do things. And so, with that thing about focusing on diversity, we wanted to add so many more ways to play the game and so many more things that you could do. Because normally in all of our other franchise games, you buy the game, you play Road to the Show, you play online, you play franchise. And that's pretty much what you do. We want to spice those things up a little bit. And we've done that in a few ways. One of those ways is the introduction of captains. So there are 6 captains in the game, and we'll go into Josh Donaldson's captain store, and every captain has their own marketplace. And the currency that governs the marketplace is called tickets. And the first question everybody says, well, how do I earn tickets? You earn tickets by playing the game. Exhibition, online, Road to the Show, anything you do will earn you tickets, and you use those tickets to buy the items that are in the captain store. And what makes the things in the captain store special is because normally you just open card packs and you're crossing your fingers that you get what you like.
This is Diamond Dynasty, right?
Diamond Dynasty,
okay.
Right. With the captain store, what you may be looking for could just be in the store. So let's say I'm a Road to the Show guy and I want some gloves, or I want a ritual item. Well, I'm in Jacob deGrom's store right now and I see what I have here. I can unlock some gloves, or I can unlock a ritual item. Now, how do I do that? Well, we see here this ritual item cost us 250 tickets, and we have 10 hours to unlock it. And those timestamps means that these things decay and they'll change. So if you want to get this item, you need to get it in 10 hours or it's gone. And you might not never know when it'll pop up again. Or you could get lucky and get it in the pack. So I want this glove and I want this ritual item. And the glove is 250 tickets and I have 1 day to get it. And you see I'm at rank 0. And these 4 columns are locked. And they're locked because my rank isn't high enough. And you rank up with each captain just by playing the game the same way you do tickets. Now, what makes captains even more unique is each captain has a mission. So if I complete this mission, I would have enough tickets to buy the 2 things that I want. And so his mission right now is big numbers. Use players in Diamond Dynasty with jersey numbers of 40 or higher for big tickets. So this goes back to the diversity thing in MLB The Show 16. Diamond Dynasty, which was a huge hit for us last year, the main complaints we got was I keep seeing the same teams over and over again, and there's no incentive for me to use a diverse roster. Well, we're really attacking that this year. So the first thing we see is, 1, the captain's mission. So in Diamond Dynasty, I should use players whose jersey numbers are 40 or higher. There could be a mission that says, use just rookies from the NL, or create your roster from the AL East. So what that does is that creates more diversity. It's going to force you to use more players to try to collect more things. Now, what we've also done is we've introduced new card types, and because of 2 brand new modes, which we're not going to talk about today, I can't jump into to show you, but we've always had live series players, and those are the current forms of actual players. So what we've done there to diversify them is we've partnered with the analytics company Inside Edge, so we have daily matchup ratings. And these daily matchup ratings are based on how they performed in real life. So throughout every day in the season, through the real 2016 MLB season, we're going to get a daily matchup rating dump for every player who played a game. And it happens every single day. So Eric Hosmer could have a really good day and he could jump up 5-6 points, or he could have a not so good day and he could go down. So that right there changes how you want to field your team. So no more, I'm gonna put Mike Trout at center field every day, because if Mike Trout has a bad day, his matchup rating might go down. So that's how we have diversified live series players.
So with that, Eric Trout has a really great game, is that going to increase his entire rating or just like certain areas?
Right. For the Inside Edge matchup ratings, for position players, it's power and contact. And for pitchers, it's their per 9s. Hits per 9, Ks per 9, walks per 9. I'm missing one. But yeah, those are the ones that it affects. And that's just live series players. But we also introduce more card types, which we call flashbacks. So we have rookie and prime cards, which we've already revealed. And rookie is very simple. We're going to have rookie versions of certain superstars. So you could see a rookie Albert Pujols, a rookie Jacob deGrom, a rookie David Ortiz. You could also see prime versions of players like a prime David Ortiz or a prime CC Sabathia. And we're adding so many more cards. We're adding hundreds of cards into the game. We needed to find a way for you to be able to earn more cards. And that's where the Captain Store comes in.
Sure.
That's also where some of the missions comes in, because you'll have regular missions that you'll do where you'll just earn card packs.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the thought behind those things. And again, like I said, we have Battle Royale and Conquest mode, 2 brand new modes in Diamond Dynasty, but we can't talk about those just yet. But what we will do, we'll jump into Road to the Show very quickly.
All right. Yeah, this is where I always spent my time with MLB 15.
MLB 15. All right. So you're a Baltimore Orioles fan. So we're gonna base our guy off of Manny Machado.
Right.
And so since we base him off Manny Machado, we're given all of his equipment, his batting stance, and what have you. So what's new in Road to the Show is in the beginning we have the brand new Bowman Scout Day. So what the Bowman Scout Day is, it's a day where the scouts try to grade you on your 5 tools. And I say 5 tools because we've now moved to the real true to life 20/80 scouting scale. So on press X, it's going to autosave, which I thought I turned off. Apparently I didn't. And here we see the new scouting report, which is new to MLB The Show 16. So we can go in here in the edit player. We can change his equipment. We can do whatever there. We can also go on to training. We can train him up. And, licensed equipment has a turn to MLB The Show 16. Mm-hmm. We've also expanded upon those categories now. So the new categories are catcher's gear, elbow guard, shin guard, wrist guards, compression sleeves, and eyewear. So we can give our guys some eyewear, we can give him a compression sleeve, give him some cleats, to boost those attributes, because he's not that good right now. He's like a 50. So if we go into the Bowman Scout Day, we're going to do batting and fielding. And since we're third base, obviously we're just going to play that position.
Sure.
So you have 12 to 15 pitches. We haven't quite locked it down yet for release. And this is going to judge your initial contact and power scouting report, which will carry over into the showcase. So here's our hitting coach talking to us, basically telling us not to suck. You don't want to be a 5th round draft pick, or you could be a 5th round draft pick and work your way up. So what they're looking for here is obviously timing, contact, and power. And we'll get, like I said, 12 to 15 pitches. Haven't quite decided on what we want to do yet to lock that in. And some other things, we can talk about a few gameplay changes that we've made. We've always heard that hitting is so hard in the game. So we went back and we've redone all of our batting cameras in the game. There's only one camera returning from MLB The Show 15. All of the rest of them have been completely changed. And the goal here was to make pitch recognition a little easier. Not necessarily hitting easier, but being able to recognize pitches a little easier. So you see, this is our new default camera view. It's called fisheye, and you can see the first base line and the third base line. Mm-hmm. So it makes the stadiums look a little bit more vast, like they do in real life. The pitcher's a little bit further back, and the camera's also a tad bit offset, so you can see those breaking pitches a little bit more.
It's kind of cool how at the top you have this meter telling you how your stock is being impacted by this particular session.
Yes, it is, and as you can see, my stock is not great. I'm doing awful. I'm pulling everything foul. I'm not showing any good hitting tools at all, and that can go all the way up. And this is basically what's going to govern how the scouts are going to look at you. So now we're going to the fielding portion, and I need to pick it up. And I started by booting that ball. This is not looking good for Joe Random. Joe Random is not looking great.
Quite literally are not picking it up.
I'm quite literally doing terrible with Joe Random. My draft stock is going to be so low.
There you go. And there's
there's another new feature called Showtime, and he dropped the ball. So Showtime is this new feature set we've introduced for Road to the Show and Player Lock only. And this was a feature that we said to ourselves, how do we spice up Road to the Show? How do we make it more interesting? Man, I'm terrible. And we came up with the idea of Showtime and perks. And what Showtime does is it slows down the time in key moments of the game, making it a little bit more impactful. Because in last year's game, when you're fielding a ground ball, you press a button, you throw it, and you just do that over and over again. It gets boring. With Showtime, as you can see, it slows the game down, and I need to be a little bit more accurate in my throw. So it's not just those routine plays anymore. And the cool thing with Showtime is it's optional. There's an option to turn all of it off if you don't want it. We're hoping people will love it. And so that's Showtime fielding, but there's also Showtime batting and Showtime pitching.
All right, well, let's jump ahead to check out the Showtime batting and pitching.
Yes, so we fast forwarded here in time. Joe Random has now magically become a pitcher. And we're going to show you Showtime pitching. So if you're a starting pitcher, you can use Showtime pitching about 3 to 5 times a start. If you're a reliever, probably only once. So what I want to do is see if I can get this batter to a 2-strike count, and then we're going to see if we can sit him down with some Showtime. Some other things you can notice is we've changed all of our rating bars to radio menus. So you see his pitch repertoire and his confidence and energy. It's all radios, and you'll see that theme throughout the entire game. Oh, there we go. Got him. All right. Dropping it in there. Let's give him a high fastball. Oh, that doesn't look good. And I gave up a double. All right, so there's no Showtime for me. Got negative training points. Starting off fantastic. So you can see there's the Showtime meter at the bottom of the screen. You see it's full because I haven't used it. So because I'm in this situation, I'm going to use Showtime. So you see it's slowing down time, and I can pinpoint my pitch.
So this is for when you really need to make a clutch play.
This is when you really need to make a clutch play. And that's why when you decide to use it is so important. So because I want a ground ball for this double play, well, actually not double play, is on second. All right, strikeout. Now here's the key, and this is what makes, Showtime so fun. Do I want to waste Showtime here or just try to get him out? So because I got no outs, we're going to use Showtime one more time. See if we can get a strikeout. Got a pop-up. That's almost as good as long as my fielder can back me up. Don't drop it. Don't drop it. Perfect. Perfect. Speaking of fielding, we've added hundreds of new animations, literally over 1,000 new fielding animations. And it goes right back to our goal this year is diversity, diversity, diversity. We wanted to add diversity in every area of the game. There really hasn't been any other area of the game that we haven't touched on and given a little development love to. Some other new Road to the Show features, highly fan requested, is the ability to continue to play series games without coming back to the front end. And that concept's pretty simple. If you're playing a series, 3-game home series, 4-game away series, you can continue playing those games. And we give you the training screen. So if you have training points, you can spend those, and you can jump right back into another game without no loading screens at all whatsoever, and which is awesome.
I don't know if we're going to get a chance to see this in this video, but one thing I also liked when you were showing me was that you can actually, the loading screens are dynamic. So when you're switching over, you can check out all kinds of different stats based on what you want to look at. And also when you're in between those games, you can still spend training points.
Yes.
Even without going back to the
Yes,
main
indeed.
menu.
It's a huge feature. It took our programmer, Darren Hoffman, and a couple of programs a lot of time to put that in. So like I mentioned, Showtime is just one part of this new feature set. The other features called perks. And Showtime and perks are like brothers and sisters because they use the same resource. And you can see that resource at the bottom right hand of the screen. So there's 120 of this resource we call Showtime. And if you equip a perk, you will use Showtime points. So let's see. So I'm not good enough, but this second win perk for this pitcher is a passive perk, which will be the entire game. It costs me 60 Showtime. So I just equipped that perk, and you see it subtracted that 60 from my Showtime meter. So that means I might not be able to do 6 or 7 Showtime pitches my next start. I may be only able to do 1 or 2. And if I equipped another Showtime perk, maybe I have none. So there's a risk reward factor there. And so like I mentioned, that's a passive perk. The other perk is an active perk or a consumable perk. So right here we have trade a small amount of energy for max confidence. This unlocks at 55. So now you can't just unlock the perks. You need to get an attribute to a range to unlock the perk. And most of the most important perks, the most powerful perks, you're going to have like 99, 95. And they're balanced out. So you can't do everything in one showing. And there's some risk reward there. Do I just go with Showtime, or do I equip 2 perks, maybe not use Showtime in the first game of the series? Then that gives me some Showtime back for the third game of the series, because the Showtime resource is like energy. It replenishes over time.
Okay. So these passive perks, are they just for the next game, or are they for just a persistent thing that's always going to be there?
Passive perk is persistent for as long as you keep it equipped, and also if it's equipped, you're going to take that hit from the resource. The active perks draws from your Showtime meter, so it just subtracts. So let's say we equip 2 perks that takes 120, and we use them, or we don't use them. When we get to the third game, we will have gained some more Showtime, and maybe we could do some more Showtime.
All right, so we have jumped back over into the batting side of things, and we're about to jump into a game with Joe Random.
Yeah, so we have Joe Random, shortstop, who has already been called up to the Colorado Rockies, and we're about to start a away stand against the Toronto Blue Jays. Another new feature people have been asking forever is the ability to choose your uniforms in Road to the Show, and you can do that now. Once you make it to the majors, you can select the uniform that you want to use. Minors, you can't because we only have home and away uniforms. So that's one of those other little features that people have asked for that we've added into. And again, like you mentioned, dynamic loading screen, so you can cycle through, see what's going on. Hitting 250 in the MLB. Not bad. I got 3 stolen bases, 5 RBIs, 3 home runs. Not doing terrible. Not doing nearly as good as I did in the AA last year, though. That's why they called me up. So with Road to the Show, presentation was huge, and what we wanted to do was we've added a lot of presentations that focus in on those big key moments in Road to the Show. Like you're going to see special presentations, your first game in the majors, that first home run, that 50th home run, that first stolen base, that 50th stolen base. So you're going to see a lot more contextual-based presentations that are brand new to the game that focuses in on your guy and those milestones that he's making.
All right, so we have the star of the Colorado Rockies, Joe Random.
Yes, Joe Random, and I believe Joe Random may have some perks that we'll use. So you see, there's the D-pad. So let's go up on the D-pad, and we have a passive perk already equipped. And this passive perk is very expensive. It's increased error chance for opposing fielders, so that's passive. We also have a consumable perk, which is house rules. All pitches will be in the strike zone. So I want to use it. So we've activated that perk. Now we have 0 Showtime meter left. So we need to make this a bat count. We're in Coors Field. Let's see if I can pull me a home run here to get the home team on the board. Foul ball. Foul ball.
So one of the big things that I think you were telling me is added at this time is the batter's performance is more based on your timing and
yes,
the attributes.
Yeah, so that's the new precision input gameplay engine, and this governs every batting, every pitching method throughout the game, online, offline. And what we've done is we've really prioritized user skill over everything. And there's that home run. Yes, sir. So what happened in previous games is you'd be playing and you'd be like, man, I squared up on that ball. I thought I hit it hard, and it's a pop-up or it's a bad fly ball. Now, when you square up on the ball and you make good contact, you're more often than not going to have better results. Now, that does not mean you're going to hit 60 home runs, and it does not mean you're going to bat 600. That's just arcade baseball. That's not us. But your input is going to mean a lot more now, and it will mean a lot more in the positive and the negative. So if you're more accurate pitching, the pitchers are going to go more where you want them to go. The same thing is on the flip side. If you're more inaccurate pitching, your pitchers are even going to be more inaccurate. So there's the balance there. There's that rock, paper, scissors aspect.
And what you just showed off there was you hit the button, and it actually made it so you didn't have to go all the way back to the simulation screen. It brought you right to your next play that you're involved in.
Took me right to the next play. And that's also what we've done is we've tried to make Road to the Show very condensed and just focused in on, if you just want to play, you just hit X now. So I can just hit X, and I'm going to go right to my next play. If I want it to bring up the simulator screen, I can just hit triangle. And since I got no Showtime, I can't activate any perks, but I can see if I can hit another. See if I can hit a 3-run jack. Break this tie ball game. Ooh,
that's
hooked it. Hooked it. Now I hooked that, and look what my PCI is. So actually, let's make this a little bit harder because I'm playing on easy. So we're gonna put this on All-Star, and I'm gonna go to Zone so we can show you a little bit more of the precision input. So now I'm not on easy anymore, so I really got to make good contact. Oh, get down. There we go.
There you go.
And you see, I dropped my PCI, I made good contact on the ball, and almost got an RBI, but not quite.
So what do you say we jump over to the franchise side of things?
All right.
We are jumping into a Minnesota Twins franchise. It's Game Informer's home team. You were telling me there's a ton of new stuff in
a lot
this
of
mode.
new features in franchise mode. MLB 15, we introduced GM goals. This year, we've expanded upon those goals with even more goals. I think we're somewhere around 30 more different goals. And the goals are meant to, one, so you keep your job. Two, so you can try to get a better job, because before we introduced these MLB 15, there was no way to get fired or get better jobs. So we've expanded upon our GM goal system this year. Another thing we've done is we've looked at scouting. We've changed scouting up. We have the 2080 scale in Road to the Show. We've brought that 2080 scale over to franchise mode. What we've also done is we're giving you as much information as we possibly can about those prospects. If it's a hitter, you're going to get his hot zone, his cold zones, his spray chart. We never had either one of those. And all his attributes are now in the 2080 scale. Even his overall and potential is now in the 2080 scale. And we just really wanted to add some more lifelike features to franchise, and that's what you're seeing here.
So yeah, that's kind of jarring for me because I'm so used to sports games being on like the 0 to 100 scale.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, that guy's only a 65 in control. But then you see that's in between above average and well above
and remember,
average.
most players in MLB are average and above average, so a 55 is not bad. What we've also done is when you're scouting pitchers, you now get to see his pitch repertoire as well, and his injury list. So 2 brand new things. And you see this guy's arm strength. His velocity is an 80, and he's fully scouted. So this is somebody we should pay attention to because his current velocity is an 80. His projected velocity is an 80. And those 80 elite tools don't come around very often. So that's something we would want to pay attention to. Another thing we've done in franchise mode is let's go look at the roster screen. So the first thing you notice is, one, we're showing you the player port. We're showing you the player avatars right behind the front end UI. And this is something we wanted to add. It's a nice little touch so you can see the guys. Everything is now radial. Our player attribute bars, we wanted to give you snapshots of all of a guy's ratings. And we do that now with the radial bars. But if you want everything, you hit triangle, you go into the player card, and you can see everything a guy has. Another new feature we've added is we're tracking statistical year-by-year stats for a guy's entire career. So let's go find Joe Mauer, and you see now, big fan requested feature. We have all of his stats from his entire career in the MLB, and we even have a lot of the sabermetric stats as well. So we're really happy we could get that in there. So with franchise mode, we have this new system called player morale. And player morale changes the way the offseason works. The way it used to work was you threw money at a guy and you could just sign him whenever. It doesn't really happen anymore because now you have these categories which governs the type of team he wants to play for. So let's see. Let's go to a pitcher. Let's go to Felix Hernandez. And you can see his team role. His team role right now is an ace. His expectation is also an ace. You can see what his contract is, how much money he wants, if coaching is important to him, his region, team performance, and all these things will govern how he's going to react in free agency. And if you let's say you have non-smiley faces, you get the frowns, the red frowns, you're going to have to spend more money to get that guy to come here, which is to mimic real life. Other guys may want different things. So this guy, he wants to play close to home. And if he doesn't play close to home, you're going to have to pay him more to get him to stay there.
Okay, so I saw that the last guy had compatriot as his expectation for region. So does that mean that guy was from Canada? So if there's other Canadian players, he's going to be
Indeed,
happy.
and that is exactly how the feature works. For instance, let's go to Edwin Encarnacion. He is from the Dominican Republic. So let's say you're trying to sign another guy from the DR. If he has that compatriot as something that he's looking for, having Edwin Encarnacion on our roster helps us sign that guy.
Okay,
which is
cool.
awesome. And the cool thing is you have to keep your guys happy. If he's happy, they get player morale boost. If they're sad, their player morale affects their ratings and they'll go down a lot. And that really governs everything in franchise mode. We've also looked at budgets. We've redone how we do the draft, player progression, all these things we've taken a look at and improved upon in franchise mode.
All right.
So now we got to put you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
We got to put you on the spot. We got to just have you play. So another new feature, fan requested, closed roofs. So every stadium that has a closed roof in the game, you'll have that option. So you're a Baltimore Orioles fan. So let's find the Orioles. Here we go. So we see Houston Astros, brand new option, closed roofs. All stadiums with closed roofs now have that option in the game, but it is only a PlayStation 4 feature, exclusive to PlayStation 4.
All right, so this feature that allows you to advance to the next game without having to go back to the loading screens, is that going to be available on both versions of the game?
No, the Advanced Day feature in Road to the Show is a PlayStation 4 only feature.
Hit L1 and R1.
So again,
to
like
switch those.
diversity, new features, more ways to play is a huge thing for us. And again, this is not a finished build of the game. There's still a lot of stuff we need to work on. I touched on animations. We've added over 1,000 new animations to the game. There are hundreds of new fielding animations. We even replaced some of the old stuff. Animations that you were seeing too much, we got rid of those. We've even added new animation categories. And the focus there is obviously diversity and more player uniqueness. So Josh Donaldson, he has a personalized home run swing. Edwin Encarnacion, he has a personalized home run swing. He also has a specific second base and third base celebration where he does the parrot, where he holds his right arm out. We have a new category for home plate celebration. So David Ortiz does something at home plate. You'll see that in the game. If a guy has a teammate and they have a tandem team celebration at home, we'll show you those. So again, diversity, more animations, more everything. We're trying to improve on every aspect of the game this year.
So you were telling me I shouldn't use the guest pitch.
Guest pitch is a crutch. I tell people all the time, do not start using guest pitch, because once you start, it's so hard to break yourself from using it.
I'm totally in that camp.
You're in that camp. You just got to go cold turkey and just not use guest pitch, and you will get better. It may take a while, but you'll definitely get better at the game.
All right.
See if you can get this leadoff hit. Nice eye.
So that's why we have the closed roof. The weather's 100 degrees.
It's 100 degrees.
We're playing in Houston in July.
Nice eye. See, the camera view is already helping you.
I would be swinging at that at the old camera every single time.
Nice. So let's see. So you file that off. Let's see what the PCI says. So it's a fly ball, contact very early, and because of where he bats, it should have went to the left. So the ball went exactly what we thought it should. You're going to get a walk? Not very many people walk in MLB The Show.
No, they don't, and I usually don't either.
Nice, and he drew a walk. My job is done. The camera works. You can see pitches better. Awesome. So we're in the closed roof stadium. As I mentioned, every stadium that has a closed roof option is in the game. We've also added a few of the classic stadiums for PS3, but we've also rebuilt them from the ground up for PlayStation 4. So those are new into the game. And we've also introduced and brought in a lot of the new updates to some of the stadiums. Like Petco has a new area that's in the game. The Minnesota Twins have done a few things to their stadium. We have those updates. Toronto Blue Jays has an all-dirt infield. We've included that into the game. So basically every major update, if it was made in early of enough time and MLB gave us the information, we've put that update into the stadiums. And Tiles Hill is still there. People keep asking us. They were going to remove it this year, but they actually pushed it back to 2017.
Uh-oh.
Double play. You hit right into it.
Machado's too fast.
All right, let's see what you got. You got Chris Davis, who just got that fat contract. You got to go yard with Chris Davis.
See what we can do.
And you can see the new speed and steel base runner radials. And you see the runner windows are off in this camera view because you kind of don't need them because the camera view is so wide you can see the first and third base lines. Hit it right at him.
All right, so got 2 outs. Let's finish out this half inning, and then I think we'll call it a video. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought that was switching the innings.
All right, come on, Adam Jones. Also see the new hot and colds on. We actually are using colors that you'll more see in real life because our previous hot and colds on colors were a little bit too neon, so we've muted that down a little bit. And that just goes back to what we've tried to touch on every aspect of the game and improve upon it. Got hit by a pitch. Yes, he did.
All right.
All right, come on,
runners
Weeders.
on first and second.
Come on, let's hit the RBI or walk-off before the show's over. Which one is it going to be? Hit right into it.
That's solid contact.
Solid
all
contact.
3 of my hits.
You just want to
but-
put the ball in play.
or 4.
And you see your XP's going up. And again, XP is what governs your captain store along with tickets. You need to get that XP up to be able to unlock those things to buy in the captain store.
All right. Well, I think that's a pretty good look at what's new for MLB The Show 16. Ramone, thanks so much for joining us. And when does this come out?
Thanks so much for having us. MLB The Show 16 will be in stores March 29th for the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 consoles.
Thanks so much, and looking forward to playing it.